She told me she still loved me, right before asking for permission to sleep with someone else. That's the sentence that keeps replaying in my head, even now. Her voice, soft, composed, devastatingly calm, still echoes through the penthouse like a ghost I can't exorcise. You don't forget the sound of your world being rearranged into something unrecognizable. I'm standing by the glass wall of our living room, 20 stories up, overlooking the glittering sprawl of the city I helped design. I'm an architect, or at least I was, back when I thought love had foundations, steel, concrete, permanence. Before I learned it's more like glass, beautiful until it shatters. Her name is Arya Valen, billionaire heiress, tech visionary, the kind of woman who owns the room before she even enters it. My wife, for now. She moves through the world like gravity bends for her. And me, I was the lucky man who somehow got close enough to call her mine. Until tonight. She sits across from me, her red silk dress pooling around her like spilled wine, a glass of champagne dangling between her manicured fingers. The soft jazz humming through the penthouse feels wrong, too romantic for what's happening. I think we need to redefine what marriage means for us, she says. Eyes steady, voice almost gentle. I don't speak. The air feels heavy, like the walls themselves are holding their breath. Redefine? I finally manage. Or erase. She smiles, sad, almost apologetic. I don't want to lose you, Adrian. But I also can't lie to myself about what I need. What you need. I repeat. My voice lower now, colder. You mean someone else. The silence that follows is surgical, clean, precise. She doesn't flinch. I believe in freedom, she says softly. In honesty, you deserve that too. I almost laugh. Freedom, honesty. The words taste metallic, like blood in my mouth. I watch her, how calm she is, how convinced she sounds, and realize she's rehearsed this. Maybe for weeks. Maybe since before the wedding. The city lights shimmer on the glass between us. For a moment it feels like she's on one side of the world and I'm on the other. You're serious, I say finally. Her eyes flicker, not with guilt, but with something worse. Certainty. I am. The rest of the night blurs. I remember nodding, pretending to understand, pretending to be modern, evolved, whatever she needed me to be. I remember the sting of her perfume when she leaned in to kiss my cheek before walking away to take a call. I remember the exact sound of her heels, sharp, echoing like the countdown to something inevitable. That was the night I agreed to my billionaire wife's open marriage. Weeks later, the world hasn't ended. Not yet. We move through our routines like dancers performing a play neither of us believes in anymore. She travels. Meetings in Monaco. Launches in Singapore. Gala dinners where her name is printed on every invitation. I stay behind, managing projects, pretending not to wonder who she's with when her texts come slower, her voice softer, her eyes distant. But something strange happens. The longer I live inside this new version of our marriage, the clearer I see it for what it is. A gilded cage, hers, mine, both. I start noticing details I'd ignored before. The way she avoids eye contact when I talk about us. The way her assistant always calls just before she has to go. The faint scent of a cologne that isn't mine, lingering on her shawl. And each time she looks at me with that same calm smile, the one that says you agreed to this. Maybe I did. But not like this. One night she comes home late, cheeks flushed, eyes bright in a way I haven't seen in months. She drops her clutch on the marble counter and sighs, the sound almost musical. I'm sitting at the table, sketches spread out before me, pretending to work. You're awake, she says, surprised. There's a flicker of guilt, quickly buried. I couldn't sleep. I study her, every inch of her, her lipstick slightly smudged, hair tousled, a faint mark near her collarbone. My chest tightens. Good night? She pauses, reading the weight behind my tone. Don't do that, she says quietly. Don't make this harder. I close my notebook, lean back. You think this isn't already hard? She exhales, shoulders dropping. For a second, I see something fragile behind her poise. Adrian, you said you understood. I said I'd try, I correct her. There's a difference. Her gaze softens, almost pitying. You're too good for me. It's meant as kindness, but it lands like cruelty. I watch her disappear into the bedroom, leaving the scent of her perfume and the hollow echo of her words behind. Too good. Too naive. Too in love. Later that night, I stand by the window again, city lights shimmering like fireflies in the distance. My reflection stares back, tired eyes, clenched jaw, a man unrecognizable even to himself. Freedom, she said. But I can feel something else rising in me. Quiet, steady, deliberate. Not anger, not jealousy. Something colder, smarter, a plan. Because if Arya believes love is a game of power and control, she's about to learn I'm not as harmless as she thinks. I'd turn away from the window, a slow smile curving at the edge of my mouth. This story isn't about the man who got left behind. It's about the man who decided to walk away first and make sure she never forgets it. It starts with silence, the kind that hums beneath everything, the kind that listens back. A week passes before she returns from Paris. I hear her heels before I see her, slow, deliberate clicks on the marble floor, each one pulsing through my chest. She's wearing black this time, a long silk coat that moves like liquid smoke. She smells of Chanel and rain and jet fuel. She drops her keys into the bowl, glances up, and finds me waiting in the living room. "Welcome home," I say. She hesitates. "You're early. Maybe I missed you." Her brow arches slightly. The smallest, cruelest smile touches her lips. "Careful, Adrian." That sounds almost possessive. I meet her gaze without flinching. Maybe I am. The air tightens between us. She steps closer, stopping just out of reach. For a moment, neither of us speaks. The only sound is the soft tick of the clock and the faraway hum of the city outside. Her voice drops low. "You said you wouldn't question me." "I'm not." I tilt my head. "I'm just observing." "Observing what?" "You," I say simply. "How you change when you come back from him." Her breath catches, barely noticeable, but I catch it anyway. The flicker of emotion she doesn't want me to see. Then she laughs softly, shaking her head. "You really want to go down that road?" "I think we're already on it." She sighs and walks past me to pour a glass of wine. "You're being cruel," she says, but her tone isn't angry. It's tired. Maybe even vulnerable. I take a slow step toward her. "No, just honest." She turns then, and for the first time in weeks, she looks at me. Really looks. There's heat in her eyes and confusion and something raw buried beneath all the control she wears like armor. "You think I don't feel guilty?" she whispers. "You think this is easy for me?" I move closer, close enough to see the tremor in her hands. "Then why do it?" Her lips part, but no answer comes. Only silence again, heavy and alive. For a long moment, we just stand there. Two ghosts in the same room, haunted by what we used to be. Then she breaks the spell, brushing past me to head down the hall. "Good night, Adrian, but I can't let her go." "Not yet." "Arya," I say softly. She pauses. "You once said love and freedom can exist together. I'm starting to think they can't." She doesn't turn around, but her shoulders tighten. Then without another word, she disappears into the bedroom and closes the door. I don't sleep that night. I lie awake listening to the sound of her moving on the other side of the wall, the rustle of sheets, the faint exhale of her breath. Memories flood in, the way she used to curl against me in the dark, whispering half-dreams about the future we'd build. The scent of her hair, the warmth of her skin. Now there's only distance. Cold, perfect, intentional. But she's wrong about me. I'm not the naive husband she once married. I've learned her rhythm, the way she calculates emotion like a currency. And if she believes this open marriage gives her control, she's mistaken, because I'm already taking it back. 2 days later, her ex, Lucas Gray, shows up at a charity gala we're both attending. I designed the venue, a glass-domed atrium filled with cascading lights and soft music. Arya looks radiant, all white silk and diamonds, her hand resting lightly on my arm. To anyone watching, we're the perfect couple, until I see Lucas watching her from across the room. He's tall, careless, all confidence and expensive cologne. The kind of man who's never heard the word no. His smile when he sees her tells me everything. They've been together since Paris, probably before. I feel her tense beside me just a flicker, then her hand tightens around mine. A performance for the cameras, for the guests, maybe even for herself. She leans in and whispers, "Don't do anything foolish." I whisper back, "I already did. I married you." Her eyes flash with anger, then fade into that familiar calm mask. She moves away to greet a donor, leaving me standing there with a glass of champagne and a pulse that won't slow down. That's when I make my move. I find Lucas near the bar, half turned toward her. His eyes track her every movement. I step up beside him, close enough that he notices, but not close enough to seem deliberate. Beautiful, isn't she? I say. He glances at me, smirking. Stunning. You were lucky once. He laughs, swirling his drink. And you're lucky now. Am I? He tilts his head, studying me. You don't sound sure. I look him dead in the eye. Let's just say we're both in an interesting situation. There's a pause, a flicker of curiosity, maybe even respect. Then he chuckles and walks away, leaving me with the confirmation I needed. They're still together. Good, that means I'm not paranoid. It means the plan can move forward. That night, Arya returns home late again. The city sleeps beneath us, silver and silent. I'm sitting in the study, lights dim, laptop open. Financial records, property transfers, digital footprints, pieces of her empire spread before me like a map. When she appears in the doorway, her face is unreadable. You're still up? Working, I say without looking up. Seems contagious. She lingers there, studying me. You've changed, she says quietly. Maybe you taught me how. A small, sad smile touches her lips. Don't become me, Adrian. You'll hate yourself. I look up then, meeting her eyes across the dim light. Maybe I already do. Something passes between us. Old love, new resentment, twisted together until it's impossible to tell which is which. She steps forward almost as if she might touch me, but she doesn't. Good night, she whispers. When she leaves, I close my laptop, my reflection flickering on the screen. The plan is no longer an idea. It's alive now, breathing, waiting, and so am I. It happens on a Thursday night. A storm rolling in from the bay, rain streaking the glass like melted silver. The city is a blur of lights beneath the thunderclouds, and inside the penthouse, everything feels charged, electric, unstable. Waiting to break, Arya stands by the window, barefoot, still in her robe from the shower. Her hair drips down her back, dark and wild, the scent of her shampoo thick in the air. Jasmine and salt and something heartbreakingly familiar. She looks small like this, stripped of her armor, almost human. You're watching me again, she says softly, not turning around. I don't deny it. You make it hard not to. Her reflection meets mine in the glass. Two ghosts framed by lightning. Do I? Yes, I step closer, slow, careful. You always did. She turns then, eyes meeting mine. The robe slips slightly off her shoulder, revealing the pale curve of her collarbone. For the first time in months, there's no mask on her face, no poise, no distance. Just exhaustion. And something else. Regret. I didn't mean to hurt you, she whispers. But I think I did. You think? My voice cracks. You tore me apart, Arya. I know. Her eyes glisten, catching the flicker of lightning outside. And still you stayed. I take another step, close enough to feel the heat coming off her skin. Maybe I stayed because I wanted to understand how the woman I loved could turn into a stranger. Her breath hitches. Maybe I was always a stranger. You just refused to see it. Then show me, I say. Show me who you really are. Her lips part, and for a heartbeat, neither of us moves. The air between us vibrates, filled with the scent of rain and want and something dangerously close to forgiveness. Then she steps forward and presses her forehead against mine. I don't know how to be what you need, she murmurs. Then be honest. A tear slides down her cheek, and I catch it with my thumb. Her skin is warm, trembling under my touch. She closes her eyes, leans into my hand. Lucas, it wasn't just physical, she admits, voice breaking. It was safety, control. A way to feel something when I couldn't feel anything else. The name hits me like a fist to the ribs, but I stay still. Calm. And me? You were home, she says simply. And I don't know how to live inside something that stills me. Lightning flashes again, bathing her face in white light. I see it then, the conflict tearing through her, the guilt, the need. And something inside me shifts. I don't forgive her, not yet. But I understand, you keep saying freedom, I whisper. But maybe what you really want is to stop running. Her eyes open, wet and searching mine. And what if I don't know how? Then let me remind you. The words hang in the air between us, and then she moves. Sudden, desperate, her lips crashing against mine. It's not gentle. It's not even love. It's confession in motion, every lie, every ache, every wordless apology burning through the kiss. Her hands grip my shirt, pulling me closer. like she's trying to erase the months between us. My fingers find the back of her neck, the line of her jaw, the soft tremor in her breath. The rain outside becomes thunder, wild and merciless. When we finally break apart, both of us are shaking. "I shouldn't have done that," she says, breathless. "Then why did you?" Her chest rises and falls. "Because I wanted to remember what it felt like to be yours." The words split me open. For a long time I can't speak. I just look at her, this woman who broke me, who I still can't stop wanting. I touch her cheek, slow, reverent. "You still are," I say quietly. "At least for now." She swallows hard, eyes darting to the floor. "Adrian, Lucas doesn't know about the contract." "What contract?" Her eyes flick up to mine, fearful, fragile. "There's something I didn't tell you. Something tied to my company. To our marriage. If we divorce, half my shares go to me," I finish. Realization dawning like a blade of light. "You hid that. I thought I could fix it before things got complicated. Before you decided to rewrite the rules," I say, my tone sharper than I intend. "Before you decided to play God with both of our lives." Tears spill now, quiet, genuine. "I never meant for it to become a game." "But it is," I murmur. "And you're losing." Her lips part, a protest forming, but before she can speak, her phone buzzes on the counter. The name flashes on the screen. Lucas Gray. Everything inside me stills. She doesn't answer. Just stares at the phone, then at me. Lightning cracks outside, throwing her face into harsh relief. Guilt, fear, love, all colliding at once. "Don't," I whisper. "Not while I'm standing here." Her hand trembles over the phone, then retreats. The silence that follows is deafening. We stand there, both caught in the space between love and war. "I'll end it," she finally says. "I don't believe you," I answer, steady, "but I'll give you the chance to prove it." She nods, tears slipping soundlessly down her cheeks. "Why are you still here?" she asks, almost pleading. "Because," I say, stepping close enough that my breath grazes her ear, "I want to see who you become when there's nothing left to hide." Then I turn and walk away before I can take her in my arms again. Before the storm outside finds its echo inside me, I close the study door behind me, leaning against the cool wood, pulse still thrumming with her touch. The kiss wasn't forgiveness. It was confirmation, and now, the real game begins. Morning bleeds into the penthouse like an unwanted truth. Soft light seeps through the curtains, brushing over the marble floors, over the untouched coffee cups, over the ghost of what happened last night. The storm is gone, but its memory lingers in the air, thick, heavy, electric. I'm sitting at the table when Arya comes out. She's wearing a white blouse and black slacks, her hair pulled into a sleek knot, her expression carefully composed. But I can see the fracture beneath the surface. Her eyes are puffy, her movements hesitant. She's pretending to be whole again, but neither of us buys the act. She stops across from me. "We need to talk." I close the laptop in front of me. "We did that last night. This is different." Her tone is fragile steel. "I ended it with Lucas." A long silence follows. I study her face for a lie, but there's only exhaustion. "Just like that?" I ask quietly. She nods. "He didn't take it well. I can imagine. I told him the truth, that what I had with him wasn't real anymore, that I needed to fix my marriage." Her gaze flickers up to me. "If you'll still have me." The words hit me harder than I expect. For a moment, all I can do is look at her. The woman who once made my world feel endless, who later made it feel suffocating. And now somehow she's offering it back. "Why now?" I finally ask. "Why not months ago?" Her lips press into a line. "Because last night, when you said you wanted to see who I become when I stop hiding, I realized I've been running from that woman for years." I exhale slowly. "And you think ending an affair makes you her?" I think it's a start. There's sincerity in her voice. Maybe even redemption. But I've learned to be cautious with Arya's truths. They shimmer like glass and just as easily cut. "Fine," I say. "Then show me," she blinks. "Show you?" "Your freedom," I say. "The woman who doesn't need lies or other men to feel alive." For the first time, I see a flicker of fear in her eyes. Not of me, but of herself. She looks away, arms crossing. "You make it sound simple." "Nothing about you ever is." We hold each other's gaze for a long moment, and something unspoken hums between us, fragile, dangerous, almost hopeful. Then her phone buzzes again. The sound slices through the air. She doesn't look at it this time. She just powers it off and places it face down on the counter. A declaration, a truce, maybe both. Days pass. For the first time in months, we find a rhythm again. Breakfast with conversation instead of silence. Walks through the city without the shadow of pretense. She starts coming to my office, leaning over my sketches like she used to, offering unsolicited opinions with that teasing smirk I thought I'd never see again. For a moment, it almost feels like before. Almost. But there's something else happening too. Something quieter. Beneath the laughter, beneath the fragile peace, I can feel her walls lowering. Every look, every brush of her hand across my arm feels deliberate, hesitant, like we're learning each other all over again. One night, she asks if she can see the design I've been working on for weeks, the one I've refused to show anyone. I hesitate, but she insists. So I take her to my studio, lights dim, drawings spread across the table. It's beautiful, she murmurs, tracing a finger along the edge of the blueprint. What is it? Our house, I say softly. The one we talked about building before everything changed. She freezes, eyes flicking up to mine. You kept it? Some things are worth finishing, I say. She steps closer, close enough that I can feel her breath. You still believe in us? I believe in what we could have been, I whisper. I'm not sure that's the same thing. Her hand hovers in the air between us, uncertain. Then slowly she rests it on my chest. Her pulse is fast, wild. Let me try again. I cover her hand with mine, and for a moment the world narrows to this. Her skin, her scent, her trembling confession. Aria. My voice catches. If we do this, it's all or nothing. She nods. Then let it be all. The kiss that follows isn't desperate this time. It's quiet, slow, the kind that rebuilds what's been broken instead of pretending it never was. Her body melts against mine, and I feel the walls between us finally crumble. Months of anger and distance dissolve into something raw and real. When she pulls back, her eyes glisten. I'm scared, she whispers. Good, I murmur, brushing her hair from her face. That means it matters. We stand there for a long time, holding each other in the half-light, like we might survive this after all. But peace never lasts in Aria's world. The next morning, I wake to the sound of her phone vibrating violently against the nightstand. Dozens of missed calls. Messages. One name flashing again and again. Lucas Gray. She stirs beside me, confusion clouding her features. What the? I hand her the phone. You should see this. Her eyes widen as she scrolls. Then she goes pale. No. I take the phone from her, scanning the message on the screen. If you think you can walk away, you'll regret it. You forget who owns the other half of your company. I look at her, realization slicing through the fog. You told me the shares transferred to me if we divorced. They do, she says, voice trembling. But before that clause activates, Lucas still controls his stake. He's threatening to crash the company, to leak documents, ruin investors unless I come back. Which means he knows about us, I say. Tears pool in her eyes. I swear I didn't tell him anything. I know, I say softly, though my jaw tightens. He found out another way. Her hands shake as she grips my arm. What are we going to do? I take a breath, calm, deliberate. We're going to finish what you started. Her gaze flickers with confusion. What does that mean? It means, I say, standing, pulling on my shirt. We stop reacting and start taking control. I've been preparing for this. She stares at me, realization dawning slow. You've been planning something. I meet her eyes. Since the night you asked for your freedom. The color drains from her face. Adrian, what did you do? Nothing yet, I say. But by the time this is over, Lucas will be out of your company and you'll be free. Her voice breaks. And you? I pause at the door. Freedom has a price. I just hope you're ready to pay it. The next few days unfold like a chess game. Quiet moves, invisible strikes. Aria barely sleeps. I barely speak. Outside, her empire gleams as if untouched, but beneath the surface, everything trembles. Lucas Gray is making good on his threats. Rumors swirling, board members whispering, stocks dipping, but I'm already 2 steps ahead. For months I've been gathering data, quietly tracing her company's shadow accounts, the offshore subsidiaries Lucas helped her hide from investors. She thought I was numb when she told me about her open marriage. What she didn't know was that I was also opening something else. Doors into her empire, into secrets built on sand. Now it's time to end it. The boardroom feels colder today. Steel walls, glass table, 20 faces pretending not to watch the power shift. Arya sits at the head, chin high, mask of control flawless as ever. But I can see the panic flicker behind her eyes. Lucas sits opposite her, smirking, oozing confidence. The predator back in his territory. I take my seat beside Arya. She doesn't look at me, but her fingers twitch against the table. I rest my hand briefly over hers, a silent promise. Her breath catches. Then I turn to Lucas. You've been busy, I say. He shrugs. I take care of what's mine. Funny, I murmur. So do I. He leans back, arrogant. You think you can fix this? You don't even understand what you're part of. Maybe not, I say, but the SEC does. That gets his attention. The room shifts. Small murmurs, darting glances. Arya's head snaps toward me. I open the folder in front of me, sliding the documents across the table. Shell corporations. Asset transfers. Fraudulent mergers. All tied to your name, Lucas, and conveniently not Arya's. His smirk fades. You're bluffing. Am I? I say, pulling out the last document. This is your signature on a wire transfer to a Cayman account 3 months ago. I sent it to the authorities this morning. The color drains from his face. He turns to Arya, desperate now. You knew about this. She shakes her head, eyes wide. No. Adrian, how did you? I told you, I say quietly. I've been planning since the night you asked for your freedom. The boardroom erupts in whispers. Lucas rises furious, but the guards at the door move before he can reach me. The moment he's escorted out, silence returns, thick, stunned. Arya sits frozen, trembling. You just destroyed him, she whispers. No, I say, standing. I destroyed what was destroying you. She looks up at me, eyes glassy. At what cost? I pause. Our marriage was already gone, Arya. I just made sure something survived. She opens her mouth to speak, but the board chair interrupts. Dry voice, measured tone. Mr. Valen, he says, addressing me by her name. With these documents, control of the remaining shares transfers to you. Arya's breath catches. Wait, what? The chair slides a new set of papers across the table. Per your marital contract. In the event of legal compromise, ownership defers to your spouse. I look at her. I didn't set the rules, I say softly. You did. She stares at the papers like they're a loaded weapon. So that's it? You take everything? No, I say. I'm giving you back your freedom. Her voice cracks. By taking my company? By ending what's been killing you, I reply. You built an empire trying to prove you couldn't be owned by anyone. Now you don't have to be. Tears shimmer in her eyes, but she doesn't let them fall. She stands slowly, meeting my gaze across the table. You really did love me. I still do, I admit. That's why I'm leaving. Her breath stutters. Adrian, don't, I say gently. If I stay, we'll just break each other again. The silence between us is a requiem. The board disperses around us, the sound of footsteps fading until it's just her and me. She takes a shaky step forward. You think this will make you happy? Walking away richer but empty? I shake my head. No, but at least it'll make us honest. She studies me for a long time, really studies me. Then for the first time in a long while, she smiles. A small, broken, beautiful thing. You always were the better architect, even with hearts. Weeks pass. Her company stabilizes under my name. Then, as promised, I transfer ownership back to her, clean and untangled. She doesn't call, doesn't text, Neither do I. Some wounds heal best in silence. Then one night, I find myself walking the old harbor district. It's raining again, the same kind of night she once kissed me beneath lightning. I pass a cafe, pause at the window, and there she is, Aria, alone. No guards, no board members, no mask, just her. She spots me through the glass. For a second, we both freeze. Then she smiles. Not the practiced smile of a billionaire, but something gentler. Real. She lifts her cup slightly, a silent toast. I raise mine back. She mouths something. Thank you, and somehow that's enough. I walk away into the rain, the city lights shimmering through the water like fractured stars. The wind tastes clean, the air lighter than it's been in years. I think about everything. Her laughter, her cruelty, her courage, the love that built us, the lies that broke us, the fire that burned through both. In the end, she got what she wanted. Freedom, and I got something better. Peace. Later, in my new office overlooking the skyline, I open the final set of plans I've been working on, the blueprint of our dream house. Only now, there's just one name on it, mine. I trace the lines with my fingers, smiling faintly. Architecture is about balance, weight and light, structure and emptiness. Maybe love is the same. Sometimes, to build something lasting, you have to let part of it fall. I glance out the window one last time, watching the city she and I once ruled together. And for the first time since that night she said she wanted an open marriage, I finally feel free.